Hi, everyone. My name is Laura Young. I'm the Director for Enrollment Management for the School of the Arts and Architecture. So I represent the majors of Architectural Studies, Art, Design Media Arts, Dance, and World Arts and Cultures. It actually depends on the major because they all have different entry points. So for architectural studies, that's actually a transfer only major. So you would apply to that major when you were approximately sophomore standing so that you would spend your junior and senior year in the program. So it's a 2-year sequential program. For the art department, they actually look at change of major applications every quarter. So you can apply as soon as winter quarter of your freshman year. And then for design media arts, they look at applications once a year. So you usually turn in a petition to change your major in usually like late November, early December. And they review your applications along with the regular application timeline. So you would know whether you're coming in for that spring quarter or the following fall. And then for dance and for World Arts and Cultures, it's the same. So they review applications. You would turn in your change of major petition in like early December, and the department would review and let you know if you were in for that spring quarter or the subsequent fall quarter. For the resources, for students who have come into the university undeclared, so which is the majority of you. If you're interested in studying the arts within an academic environment and you want that access to studio, then that's a way to get it. So that's going to be consistent across all of the arts programs. So you would move into a professional practice where the majority of your classes are going to be in studio. They're much smaller. So our programs are kind of set up sort of like a conservatory style or like a private art school experience, but just at UCLA. So these are very, very small programs. Architectural studies, for instance, is only 50 undergraduate students. You actually get individual studio space beginning junior year. The art department has 215 undergraduates. Design media arts has 180. Dance is about 110, and World Arts and Cultures is about 90. So it's a very, very intimate environment in which to study the arts. And it doesn't cost anything different either. So it's regular UCLA tuition. Yes, you're still a UCLA student, so the undergraduate research office can provide grants, and I've spoken to their arts and humanities person a bunch of times, and she says that visual arts students and performing arts students rarely access those funds, but there's a tremendous amount of research that can be hinged around the arts in terms of new thought. We sort of have come up with this idea of research as being very science-based, but if research is the kind of the development and exploration of new knowledge, we do that in the arts as well. So if you wanted to, for instance, put together a research project that looks at, social justice within dance, then you can do that, and that's actually a legitimate research project. And our faculty, because they are also practicing artists, can help you design that research and seek funding for it. So it really depends on what you want to do, but generally you're going to find a lot of support in our programs for exploring new avenues in the arts. For change of major applications, the two most popular majors are architectural studies and design media arts. The big question is, how do I actually apply? Which does involve a portfolio or an audition. So if students starting in the major freshman year or junior year, in the case may be with architectural studies, everyone has to turn in an audition or a portfolio, and changing your major into the program is no different. So we need to be able to see that you have an investment in your arts practice in order to get into the program. It doesn't have to be necessarily formal. So, we've admitted dancers into the dance major who've never taken a studio class before. They may have learned through their traditional culture. They may have learned through social dance, so not in a place where they would actually have formal instruction, but they still want to move and they still want to explore body-based movement and dance in a university setting. Another question is like, how do I actually get into the classes if I'm not in the major? And that's on a case-by-case basis. The best thing to do is talk to the student affairs officer in the department, and they can help you identify some classes that might be good for you to approach. And the thing that you need to do is to be able to show up on the first day of class. You can email the instructor beforehand and say, I would really like to be in your class, but the arts instructor needs to know who's actually enrolled in the class and who actually shows up on the first day in order to know how many spaces there are, because they have to prioritize the students who are in the major. And if there are spaces left over, then they can open it out to students who are not in the major. So it's on a case-by-case basis, but that's my best advice in order to be able to get into the studio classes, and also be prepared to maybe do kind of like a mini audition or bring some portfolio pieces to show the professor so that they know that you can participate in the class at approximately the same level as the people who are in the major. The best place to go where everything is housed is our school website. So that's www.arts.ucla.edu/apply. So there we have all of the change of major requirements listed. Right now we're still putting the finishing touches on our requirements, and they should be published by September 15th, so really soon. And we also have a lot of information on how to approach the audition and the portfolio. So for the visual arts, we have documents where all of the faculty have come together and they've written out kind of do's and don'ts of the process, what they notice in the application process, how to approach the portfolio process, especially if you're not able to get studio classes. They want those help documents to be available to you. So if you need to make artwork on your own, which is totally fine, that you kind of have a guiding light in that direction. And there's also information about all of our info sessions, which change of major students are welcome to attend. If you need help with the process, please feel free to reach out. So you're looking at one half of the entire office of enrollment management. So it's me, Laura Young, and then my assistant director, Nikki Klepper. And if you email us at admissions@arts.ucla.edu, then we can help you connect to the student affairs officers. Although you can, if you want to, you can connect with them directly. So for architectural studies, the student affairs officer, his name is Jim Keys, Kies. For the art department, her name is Karen Cronin, Caroncronin. For design media arts, it's Helen Tran. And for design media arts, they actually have a required info session for change of major applicants that they post on their website. So she's someone you would definitely want to get in touch with if you're thinking about changing your major into design media arts. And then for dance and for World Arts and Cultures, because they're housed under the Department of World Arts and Culture/Dance, you would want to talk to LaDonja Horn. So if you reach out to me or Nikki or any one of the student affairs officers, we can definitely help you get going in the right direction. Thank you very much for your attention. Good luck and go Bruins.